Hello my viewers.
We're gonna be talking about...
Do you also think there is something wrong with the orcs in Dawn of War? They numbers. When I think of orcs, I immediately see an endless green wave. So today, I'm going to try to beat the Dark Crusade using only the Sluga boys. These boys are the cheapest units in the game. Thanks to the more Slugas upgrade, their recruitment cost is reduced to 0. We will also be using the exploit for an unlimited population limit. This exploit is very easy to use. All you have to do is save and load the game. You can do this as many times as you want. The rules of this run are simple. I can only use Sluga boys and Gretchin squads. I cannot use my commander. Many of you have advised me to press the delete key on my keyboard to kill units I don't need. This is something I did not know about. I can build banners and the listening post, but I cannot upgrade them. Orcs banners are important for generating orc resources and increasing orc populations. I can't use flamethrowers and knobs, so I choose a hard difficult and start the game. As always, I will start from the level 1 sector. My plan is to get more Slugas upgrade as soon as possible. First, I need to upgrade my settlement to Orc Fort, but to upgrade the settlement, I need to reach 70 Orc resources, and to do that, I need to build 4 Orcs banners. It's a long process, and I also have to watch out for enemy attacks. The machine guns on the Orc buildings really help me to defend the base. I recruit 100 Slugas boys and move on the Tau base, which fall under my boots in no time.
He's in the walls. He's in the goddamn wall!
Unfortunately for me, there are no Sluga boys elite squads on the map. This means I start every game from 0, with no units to defend my base. Now, something more difficult, the Tau sector at level 5. Large maps are better for my playstyle. I have more time to prepare my army. It's time to talk about upgrades. There are 8 possible upgrades for the Sluga boys. 2 for range damage, which is the most important one. 2 for melee damage, 2 for boys health, and 2 for flamethrowers, which I won't be using. Once the population limit is reached, I focus on the Tau base and win the game.
You remember the training? Quick, to the Weeaboo protection chamber!
The spaceport is next sector on my path. Finding 5 servitors is an easy job. A few minutes and mission is over. Now, with the spaceport bonus, I can avoid enemy sectors and gain other bonuses. Meanwhile, the Necrons decide to attack my sector, but my boys kick their metal asses back to the catacombs.
We will see who serves whom.
Now I'm going for the Fury bonus. I thought killing 70 Necrons with my boys would be difficult, but the Necrons decide to die under the fire of my machine guns. Then I launch a counter-attack and defeat them, but with the heavy losses on my side.
The power of the Blood God shall be yours.
Marty, I'm bored. I'm gonna kill you.
Time to increase my resources with industrial production bonus. I can win this mission by collecting 1800 powers or by destroying every enemy building. In this challenge I'm thinking like an orc, and I have chosen a brutal way to win this mission. I have spent all my resources on the army, and defeating the Space Marine is no challenge. They are trying to rebuild their base, but I don't give them a chance to do so. The last bonus is increased manpower. This bonus isn't really necessary, because it only allows me to recruit 4 extra Sluga boys. 4 orcs doesn't make any difference in our campaign. I changed the attack type to a range stance. Sluga boys are better in close combat, but in their mass, they deal more range damage. I was afraid of enemy vehicles, but 100 Daka aimed at enemy armored unit is enough to eliminate it in seconds. The Necron pyramids have been destroyed, and we can move on the next mission. The Necrons were the faction I feared the most, so I decided to eliminate them first. In the previous challenge, I was unable to defend my base. This time my situation was even worse. Without elite squads, I quickly ran out of resources to continue the fight. Once again, I'm using the strategy of building a base out of sight of the Necrons. I cannot cross this line, otherwise the Necrons will start attacking my buildings, so I gather a lot of forces in my fort, and when my army is ready, I unleash the horde. After clearing the starting area, my orcs entered the labyrinth of Necron catacombs. The tunnels are really tight. The march of the greenskins will be really slow.
Boss, it's a bunch of those monolith things. Those Necrons live in those things, you git. Now wreck 'em!
The cluster of Necron monolith is not a well-defended place. I expect more resistance, but the real test of strength is the fight against an active monolith. Every shot is devastating to my boys and send the orcs far over the battlefield. A few thousand Daka shots later and I can move on the main objective, Gorguts, plant the bomb and escape through the tunnels. My fear of Necrons was unnecessary.
My lord, the living have...
You disrespect yourself and your nation. You are made of stupid.
After several unsuccessful tries to defend my base, I decide to find a good place to hide. In each stronghold mission, enemies are scripted to attack the started area. They cannot find our building if we build them somewhere else. I have the perfect spot for a base on higher ground, out of the sight of the town. I only need to kill a few stealth warriors. My boys rush towards the firecast base, ignoring all the enemies around them. An ideal strategy when you have more men than the enemy have bullets. I have gathered probably the largest horde you have ever seen and overrun the Croods force.
They're in the quarter. The Kion command post is gone.
Do not surrender to despair. We have many forces left yet.
The boys decide to attack the Tau on the Unity Plaza from both sides. It looks amazing how they give them no room to escape. With the tower I can make invisible units visible, but this skill will not be needed. I can now go straight for the Tau leader. The firepower at the Tau main base create a stylish carpet from my orcs, but is still not enough to stop me, and Ethereal's death ends this mission. The Tau stronghold is one of the easiest but most fun.
These people are not frickin' humans, okay?
Orcs against Chaos. Can you imagine a more brutal battle? I need to hide my fort in a corner again, hopefully researching the more Slugas upgrade before the Bloodthirsters arrive. The cultists who attack my base pose no real danger to my camp, but their screams can damage my heirs.
How have we failed?
After 20 minutes, the Bloodthirsters show up. His sin skills are spectacular, but still he is too weak to stop me here. The time has come to introduce the big boss of the stronghold of chaos, the Blood Pulse. I have 40 seconds to pass around, after which time the Blood Pulse will kill everything in its range. This is how I lost half of my army. I stopped the Blood Pulse, destroyed the machine pit where a huge numbers of defilers spawn, and now I can rush towards the main demon gate. The invisible cultists use an impressive strategy and block my orcs. I don't have to worry about enemies and focus on the gate, destroying it very quickly. Chaos was banished from this world.
Alright, you primitive screwheads, listen up!
The Imperial Guards, a well-fortified army, full of tanks and the Empire's bravest soldiers. Let's see how long they can hold out against the Orks. I removed my fort and built another one on this small swamp. As always, I form a horde and clear the starting area.
Firing solution plotted. Now you will see what it means to face the Imperial Guard. Artillery, open fire!
Artillery, airstrike and titan cannon. Imperial Guards have many tools to stop my orcs. I spot a Bendblade and its 11 barrels of hell. I get as close as possible, giving the Bendblade commander the chance to hit my orcs with his sword.
Drive me closer. I want to hit them with my sword.
I have eliminated the Imperial Air Force and artillery from the game.
Fire!
I have a minute before Titan Cannon fire again. Still, a lot of orcs have passed to the other side, but not as many as I need, so I have to form another group to finish the job and stop the cannon fire. It was time for the final assault on the enemy HQ. The Imperial Guard's defense strategy based on explosions was effective against my orcs and stopped my assault many times.
But as ever, our enemy outnumbers us. Each of you must be an army in your own right.
Finally, the Bloodraven's speech makes some sense, because now I really do outnumber them. Maybe even 40 to 1. After stopping orbital fire, cutting off enemy reinforcement and capturing their relic, I launch a massive attack on their fortress. Just look at the number of orcs. Finally, a down of 4 that is lore friendly. Returning to the gameplay, I destroy the Space Marine HQ, which completes the mission. I left Eldars for last, because they are always the weakest faction. This time I was wrong. This level 7 sector is a nightmare. Even with 3 Sluga boys and an exploit for an unlimited orc population, I am unable to defeat 2 large Eldar bases, so I have to go back to before I defeat the Tau, Chaos, Imperial Guards and Space Marines. I am now able to defeat the level 5 sector.
Oh man, don't tell me I've been slaying hot girls this whole time.
I find great place for my base, where no one will bother me. At the beginning, I have to punish the rebel orcs, so I free the squigots, and in their company, I destroy the orcs village. My boys clear the minefield, and then eliminate the enemies, and capture 3 points. I'm only 10 minutes away from winning. After killing several Eldars, the mission comes to an end. Now I have to play these 4 strongholds again. For you, it's 1 cut. For me, it's a few hours.
Later.
With the last enemy beaten, Gorgut's horde reigns supreme on Crotus.
So now I can confirm that it's possible to beat the Dark Crusade with Slaga boys only. This challenge is much easier than my previous challenge with Imperial Guardsmen. See you in the next video.